Alrighty, so I bought this off of a Facebook ad. It's a salt alternative called green salt. It's Salicornia, which is basically like the asparagus of the sea. That's all it is dehydrated asparagus of the sea, or this salty flour, salt marsh flour. I'm going to put it on these Brussels sprouts. I typically salt these up really good. It says you can be pretty liberal with this because even at a liberal serving there, it's half the sodium of salt, and it should taste salty and remove some of the salt content out of my food, which I over salt my food way too much. So I'll give this a shot. All right, I have poured liberally that green salt on my asparagus. I'm not asparagus, sorry, Brussels sprouts. And I am going to try some of that and try to capture my reactions to it in a truthful manner. Let's see how it goes. Here we go. On that one, it was probably too light. I can barely even taste salt. I've got one that's got a lot on it, and I'm gonna rub it around on the plate, which has a big concentration. See how that tastes. A little bit more in there. It's salty, but it's not ultra salty. And so what I can see happening is I can see me putting a dabble of this stuff on here and then putting actual salt on there, but far less than I used to use, so that it's not quite as much salt content to minimize my sodium intake. But that's the goal. I consume too much sodium, and too much sodium can be inflammatory. So I'm trying to find ways to reduce inflammation in my body. So I think that it is a good 50-50. Maybe I'll even get a shaker and put 50% of this concoction in there and 50% salt, so that I mix them like that and then use that and diluted down salt. It still tastes pretty good. It doesn't taste bad. It's got a little bit, slight hint of a seafood kind of taste because it's a flour from the sea, from a salt marsh close to the sea, apparently. But it's not bad. You probably have to use a lot for it to satisfy that super salt craving, but if you're looking to reduce your sodium intake, I recommend you make a container of 50-50. Maybe I'll even do that and finish up the video with that. Yep. So I got a container and a top for it with appropriate hole size. I'm gonna use the funnel for the bag. Plus I hurt my hand. I don't know if you've seen the video with that or not, but everything's kind of harder for me. I'm gonna try to go about 50% and just really eyeball it. It's close to 50% there. And before I take up all the space, I'm going to shake it around, try to get that mixed up a little bit. So there we go. And I'll show you how this turns out in a little bit. All right, so I made all my normal night meal, which is beans with these various veggies. I think it's squash, onions, mushrooms, and spinach. And I've got the mix here. Looks almost exclusively green though, but it's definitely lighter than what I had before. And just gonna put a nice layer. This is about as much salt as I would normally put on a meal. I can already smell that seaweedish kind of smell to it, and I like pepper. I'm just going with salt and pepper, lighter on the pepper. All right, so let's see if it adequately salted for me. There's a little bit of salt already in this beans because it was canned beans, black beans, but I didn't put any on the veggies. And let me just eat the squash alone. No, I think I like it. I can do that. So the half and half, 50-50 mixture is probably the best thing for someone like me. If you don't use a lot of salt anyways and you're trying to eliminate salt, that's probably one way you could do it. So thumbs up, I like it.